Okay, so like everyone I know has like a million different apps for banking and investing and budgeting, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a lot to keep track of.
Right. So get this, I was reading this article the other day about these things called financial super apps, and they basically do everything all in one place.
Oh yeah, those are fascinating. They're already huge in Asia.
Really?
Yeah, apps like WeChat and Alipay have been doing this for years.
Huh? I had no idea. So what can you do with them?
Well, basically anything you can do with a regular financial app, but all in one place. So think like bank, paying bills, trading stocks, even booking flights and ordering food.
Wow. It's wild.
It's
like a digital Swiss Army knife for your money.
Exactly. And that's kind of the idea. They want to be your one-stop shop for everything.
So are they actually catching on? Or is this just like a futuristic concept?
Well, they're definitely gaining traction, especially in Asia and Europe.
Are there any examples here in the US?
Yeah, there are a few. Cash App is probably the closest we have right now. They started as a way to send money to friends, but they've been adding more and more features like investing and even buying Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. So they're kind of evolving into a super app.
Yeah, I think that's the direction they're headed.
Yes.
And a lot of other companies are trying to do the same thing.
So what's driving this whole super app trend?
Well, I think there are a few factors. First of all, convenience. I mean, who doesn't want to manage all their finances in one place instead of having to switch back and forth between a bunch of different apps?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's the cost savings. A lot of these super apps offer discounts or special deals if you use multiple services through them.
Also, it's like bundling your cable and internet.
Exactly. And then another big factor is the user experience. These apps are designed to be really user-friendly and personalized, so they use things like AI and machine learning to learn your habits and recommend products and services that might be relevant to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it also sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some privacy concerns with these apps. I mean, they're collecting a ton of data about you.
Right. So what are some of the potential downsides to these super apps?
Well, as you said, data privacy is a big one. If one of these apps got hacked or had a data breach, it could be a disaster.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then there's the issue of monopolies. I mean, if one or two of these super apps become really dominant, they could stifle competition and innovation in the financial industry.
That's true. So it's kind of a trade-off, right?
Yeah, I think so. There are definitely some potential benefits to these super apps, but there are also some risks that we need to be aware of.
It's a lot to think about. I mean, it seems like the future of finance could be really different if these super apps take off.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe in a few years we'll all be using one app for everything.
That's a crazy thought. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
One last thought for our listeners, though. Think about this for a second. What if these super apps start giving you personalized financial advice based on all the data they're collecting about you?
Whoa, that's a little freaky.
Yeah, it could be really helpful, but it could also be really dangerous. If you're not careful, you could end up making financial decisions based on what an algorithm thinks is best for you.
That's a really good point. I guess it all comes down to trust. Do you trust these companies to use your data responsibly?
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I think the next few years are going to be really crucial for the development of super apps.
Well, I, for one, am going to be watching this space closely. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. It's been a great conversation.
I'll see you next time.
Sounds good.